So what are you doing that for?
This is edge prep work. And since this is a little bit thinner aluminum, this is called J channel. Kind of,
Yeah.
I guess it kind of makes the shape of a J, like a long hat on the J. Since this is a little bit thinner, I'm not following the techniques that I've talked about before with the Vixen file and the Scotch-Brite wheel. This is just a fine sanding foam pad, kind of broken up, scuffed up a little bit from aluminum edges, but just running that on the edges to smooth it on out. And it's really with the grit of this sanding pad, I don't even have to go back and hit it with the Scotch-Brite wheel because it kind of conforms around the edges, takes all the burrs off, and gets the mill marks off of it too. So
well, it's probably easier because it's so long.
Exactly, yeah.
You had to like hold that up.
I have tried to run them through there, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of tough.
Because how long is that piece?
This is 90, hang on,
long.
I'll tell you, 92 1/4 inches long. And yeah, it's long. These J channels actually install on the top and bottom spar flanges. Because the spars are so big, they actually have the J channels to help support them. You know.
Oh, I thought it was something about moisture.
No, this is additional rigidity. Let me spin this around here. I'll show you kind of how this goes. Sorry about that. So this will actually install here in this top channel, and the plans have you set this edge right here needs to sit 1/16 of an inch above this. So then this all gets match drilled through here, and then eventually that'll all get riveted in there, and that helps stiffen up this whole section here. So, and there's two pieces. It goes basically end to end is the way that goes. So
it feels stiff.
It's very stiff. It's very stiff. Okay. Yeah, but evidently in there.
More is better.
More is better. Yes.
That was sharp sounding.
Sorry.
What also is interesting is the people that are not builders have asked before, like, what are the instructions like?
Oh.
And I jokingly say it's like some lower end furniture assembly.
Yes.
Where it's an exploded view of an item.
Yeah.
But maybe not explicit instruction on which to do first per se.
Yeah, in general,
it's more spiritual.
Yes, what Vans does, when you start on the tail, it's very detailed, and because they assume that you know nothing, and you really need the hand holding, and then as you get further and further into the kit, they make assumptions like you know that all the parts you need to edge prep. So it doesn't necessarily come out and say edge prep these parts. That is just part of the standard practice that you do.
Do they preface it at least? Like, we're not going to tell you the obvious things now?
I don't know if they do not, you know.
So you get into a habit or behavior.
You do. You know the things that are necessary to... I'm sorry about that. I got my safety glasses on.
Oh, it's good. It's a good look.
Yes. So yeah, it does change. The crazy part, I was just talking to somebody the other night about the project. And they're like, wow, I can't fathom building an entire airplane. Let alone two, you know. For us. But, and I said, well,
some people have done more.
Some people have done more. I mean, a lot more. The crazy part is you can't think that you're building an airplane. You just have to have the mindset.
You're just eating an elephant?
Yes, it is the old adage of
yummy.
Tonight, I'm going to edge prep these aluminum parts.
Well, that's not far off from like training for a marathon or something else. You have to think about the run of the day.
A lot of times people get hung up, and this is all about mental stamina. It's very, very equivalent to distance running, because this is about stamina. That's why there are so many failed projects of people that don't finish. One, because they think about the
complexity,
they can't get past the bigger picture, and they get hung up on it. Two, people strive for absolute perfection. Now, high quality build work is very, very important. But there's always a good analogy. Vans even says it's more like building a tractor versus a watch.
There's functional over aesthetic, right?
Yeah, and I mean,
is it safe?
You want a beautiful airplane, and that's foundational, and safe and airworthy, of course, is non-negotiable. But you just have to decide what you
have to let go at some point.
You do, or decide to not. I mean, sometimes people that build these aircraft that win Oshkosh and their show planes, many times they end up building the equivalent of 2 airplanes because they throw away so many parts. Yeah, well, not only the amount of build time, but if the parts aren't 100% perfect, they'll get rid of them. And I'm talking even like the steel welded brackets. If they don't perfectly line up from vans, they'll swap it out. They'll swap it out. I mean, that takes a lot of time to build to that. And that's great for some people. You know, that's
your mission.
Exactly. That's not what we're building. You know, we want a beautiful airplane.
A family vehicle.
Exactly. You know, it's you know, I'd say on the scale, it's you know, probably not the highest end of a Ferrari, but it's, you know, kind of nice. It's gonna be nice.
It's a family.
It's a family vehicle.
Yeah.
A sensible family sedan.
Very nice.
That's right.